Welcome to Faith Over Breakfast. You are listening to a podcast by Pastor Eric Deepen and Pastor Andy Littleton. If you enjoy Faith Over Breakfast, we encourage you to rate it on the Apple Podcast app, on Spotify, or Google Play. Thank you and enjoy the podcast. Welcome to Faith Over Breakfast. My name is Eric, and I am pastor of Village Church in Tucson, Arizona, and across from me is Andy Littleton.
Hello.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Just the myth.
Just the myth. But he is a solid pastor at Mission Church. There's a solid form that shows up to pastor.
And we're going to talk about what kind of clothing that form might arrive in today.
Yeah, there's
and
some clothing conversations. Baseball. If you love baseball, this is the conversation for you.
If you want to hear more about games and you're okay with that getting interrupted a little bit by baseball,
and
you'll
if you
also enjoy that.
Dreamed about how baseball and board games could be married together, or kickball and vintage baseball could come together in something unique, this is the program for you.
And if you want through our stories to think about your clothing choices and your age and what that means for your role
and your voice,
it's all in there.
Yeah, very fun.
Enjoy.
All right. Hey, and by the way, text us and give us a question if you'd like a different angle on things.
Yes, we love those questions. Thank you to all who do and help us make this happen.
Yep. Thank you very much. Hello, Andy.
Hey.
It's good to see you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's good to be.
So, you got books sitting here.
Yeah, The Kingdom New Testament by N.T. Wright and Preaching Rewind, or Reimagined. Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. I thought maybe you were going to be referencing books today, and we're on a whole nother level.
No. I was just thinking about how easy a conversation list you are, and how maybe I'll just rant today.
Oh, okay.
About a whole list of things.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do it. Why not?
Well, first it was really enjoyable preaching at your church.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Yeah, so last week Eric was over at Mission and was our preacher, and you did a great job. I really appreciated it. It was super nice for me to be coming off of a Learning to Love the Master retreat, getting in soon before, and I knew that sermon needed a thoughtful approach, and I thought you would be good for it. I thought about that a long time ago, and especially so coming off of a week where I had a lot of meaningful but significant things to be aware of and paying attention to. So I'm really grateful. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, it was fun, and I even was able to identify board gamers in your church.
Yes, they're there. They
started flocking to me.
Yeah, they could tell. Well, there was once a discussion about a baseball game between our churches, which still could be discussed.
It could be discussed.
The other thing, and this would be, now here's a unique thought. What if
see, this is the part of the conversation I don't know. I'm like, as soon as Andy says what if, and everybody, he's up on the mic, his hands are together, we need to visualize.
Yeah. So
a plan is coming.
Rod and I just had a discussion after breakfast that was similar. So I said one of these what ifs, and he goes, "That's just why we're friends, Andy." And you're going, "Uh-oh, what's coming? What's happening here?" So my what if to you, different what if to Rod. My what if to you. What if we took these two seemingly incompatible things,
board gaming and vintage baseball,
board game and sport,
and played a
vintage baseball in this case, or you could do a basketball game or whatever, and said, let's put the two together somehow. I mean, there's some simple thoughts. This is all new to me. Simple thoughts would be, so some people go, baseball's boring. Okay. I think the beautiful thing about baseball is you can do something else during it. You can have a meaningful conversation.
You can.
Not the game last night, Eric, as I'm sure you're aware.
Oh, very aware.
Yeah.
So aware.
Either of the games last night.
Completely aware that there were baseball games.
Yeah. These were two very consequential playoff games. You couldn't do anything but be glued to the television. One of them, including Rod's beloved Dodgers, which he was on Facebook about today, won through a walk-off, broken bat, dribbler hit, and an error on the pitcher. And you've got a whole city is heartbroken. A man's life might have been destroyed. And the Dodgers won. They're excited, but it wasn't the valiant win, right?
No, it wasn't
they
valiant.
messed up.
I guess.
Yeah. So but you're not playing a board game during that, Eric. Even a gamer, a gamer, I think would stop to look at this. Yeah. But generally, at a baseball game, the beautiful thing is you can talk about other things and kind of look up when you hear the ball hit and go, "Oh wow," and come back to it. That's one of the sweet things about the sport. So, a spectator could play a board game. Absolutely. And they might enjoy some of the gift of baseball in learning that they could actually play a board game while doing this. But what if, because you have these changes of innings, what if you actually reserved a spot at the table for the player in the baseball game to come and make a move in between innings? Or
you can just not hit the ball. You just roll the dice.
You could roll the dice, or you could actually work out, like, what if an outfielder could also be a part of a game? What if
the games were all in the outfield?
What if the games were in the outfield? Yeah. So
and everyone would have to be facing the batter just because you don't want to get whacked in the back of the head.
A bad thing could happen in that. Yeah.
So you got to be ready.
Yeah.
And if someone hits the table with the ball, then that's an extra point.
Yeah, I had a little more of the thought of, okay, so right by the foul fence, on some of these fields there's a fence, and the game is going on, and the outfielder can choose if they want to walk over and take their turn, or if they go, ooh, I can't risk it. And maybe if they walk over to take their turn, if the hitter's any good, they can go, ooh, here's my opportunity, and hit it over where that outfielder has vacated the spot.
So here's the funny thing about this whole baseball thing in the village. So, I mean, we used to do big field days. I think a lot of our big collective things like that have just stopped happening because we just have so many kids and people are just off in so many different places doing these kinds of things. Lots of sports already with their children on the weekends.
We
and
have
stuff
some of
like
that too.
But
it's not the
during the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
We have a whole bunch of documented pictures of villagers playing baseball because that's all we could do. Baseball is actually a very good COVID sport.
Because you felt like there's space.
There's lots of space between each player.
Yeah.
And, and so.
Well, and I remember you bought some gear and you had asked me about that.
Well, we were looking for gear. We ended up, ended up buying a bat and a couple balls and got people to bring their gloves. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I forget how it all turned out.
And I had proposed to you back then that what if we did, as a way to get the churches together, since we had tried to
compromise and play kickball?
Oh, no.
Our church plays kickball.
I'm sorry.
We got some big time kickball players.
Yeah, that's probably where I draw the line.
What? It's just rolling a ball instead of throwing a ball.
What if it's optional? What if you can choose?
There you go. It's if you get the ball or the ball, and you have to choose.
Yeah,
I like it. This is getting
actually
better.
I kind of like that.
Better,
I kind of like that option. So I had said, well, as a way to get our churches hanging out, since our church used to play a full game against ourselves, but I think we're a little thin to pull that off.
Yeah,
of people who are interested in playing, but as a way to get to know villagers. But I like adding board games somehow. I think the combo is interesting, and certain times of the year in Tucson could be done.
I'm curious. What if, since we're just having ideas out here, and our poor churches are listening to the process and going why aren't they ever going to do any of that?
No, this is the best podcast we've ever done.
ever. Better than our Jordan Peterson one, which is
that's just clickbait. This is
beautiful clickbait.
Quality.
This is quality. So I think both of our churches might be very responsive to like a intentional gathered worship together.
Yeah.
To get to know each other and maybe a meal. That would be a really fun thing. And then we could be like, okay, could we network and do like a baseball game or this really intricate softball, or kickball, board gaming picnic.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say Mark could write 2 songs. Mm-hmm. So one of and to me, I embrace this as a moment of healthy patriotism, but you do this, the Star Spangled Banner.
Mm-hmm. That wouldn't work for our church.
No. Yeah. And for people in our church, I think some relate to that. Some go there, some don't. But what if
some of ours would too? Yeah.
What if Mark wrote a worship song where before playing games that are wonderful, we expressed our devotion to the God who had given us these games.
Well, we could do that.
And so, this is, and then for the 7th inning stretch, he could write.
Why does this all have to be known as? Mike would have to write the 7th inning stretch.
Okay, Mike does one, Mark does one.
Yeah,
that's great. That was just entering my mind. Like, wait a second,
he's writing the 7th inning stretch.
And then, you get a unique 7th inning stretch. Yeah.
Well, I definitely think that if I told the village, like, hey, we're going to have something at your building, they would all be very interested because they'd want to come see it and be part of it and experience it.
Same in the reverse, I'm sure.
So I think we could do something fun that way.
Yeah.
Together.
Here, new thought on the 7th inning stretch. What if the 7th inning stretch somehow was...
Why is this got to be baseball? Okay, continue.
No, here's where I'm going with it.
Okay, good.
What would it look like to involve board games in the 7th inning stretch?
I don't know. Now it's going to be so complicated. People will be like, I don't
this
think
is
this.
Yeah.
I do like the softball, kickball option.
I like that too.
Because it also makes it easier for little kids.
It's more accessible.
Yeah, very. Yeah,
if you don't have arms.
Yeah, kickball's good.
Yeah.
This is good. I like this in so many ways.
Yeah.
At least that option, I think, as I would tell other people I used to work with. You have a lot of ideas. A few of them are good. And that one's really good.
Okay, great. See, this is the ideating process. It doesn't all stick.
It doesn't all stick. No, I do think at base level, our church is learning to get to know each other and be more, as the word is, collegiate together would be a good thing.
Yeah. Well,
I think we should make that our 2026 goal.
Okay.
Actually, maybe you should come to one of our Fallow Month planning sessions for part of it and see what we could do.
The collegiate game year. Somehow we've got a...
Well, I'll tell you what, we could do a couple events between each other. So our church probably next year, this hasn't been announced, but because we have we have a bunch of prototype board games, we're probably going to do hopefully 5 game nights that are showcasing those and make them a little bit like a or a game convention experience for people, and hopefully allow people to invite their friends and stuff. But I suspect there'd be a number of people from your church who'd be interested in being part of that.
Yeah, I think so.
So then maybe we could just schedule 1 or 2 of these kickball, softball. It's a softball. It's vintage baseball. The ball's a
little bigger, a little softer. You don't have to have a glove.
Yeah.
We've gone in the past. We've said no gloves, but we could.
Whatever.
Again, if we're adding you can choose a kickball, then I guess you could choose glove.
Yeah. We're into democracy.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. It's a unique game. Let it be its own thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man, we should talk about that in December.
If
you think this is just a fabulous idea, then you should tell Andy or me, respectively, hey, this is good. If you think that's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard, then you could tell us that too.
Yeah, you can email us that if you want. faithoverbreakfast@gmail.com. You can comment back but feel free to give us that feedback. Hey, I like that idea.
And I would,
or I have a thought. I have another tweak.
You have another tweak. Let's put the tweak in, and then I want to address 2 listeners.
Yes, good.
So go for it. What's the tweak?
Oh, no. I'm saying If a person
had
feedback.
Yeah, if a person has feedback or wants to change the game a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a hold of
I don't think we
want
to allow the board gamers to get a hold of it because they'll start making complicated rules for it. Yeah, we can't let them do
This
that.
is why I'm out on the field. It's because of all the
board gamers.
Yeah,
they're the umpires, man.
Yeah. Oh, we could have that. We could do that.
Right. Oh, and you could just roll dice and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, that was a strike.
Yeah.
I know you don't think it was a strike, but it was. The dice says
that would be a wonderful challenge system, which is
roll off like no. Yeah,
this is the last year in Major League Baseball without a ball strike challenge system. It's coming next year, so we could implement the role of the board gamer style challenge system,
where you have to battle it out with dice.
Yeah, flipping a coin is easier because there aren't 6 or 1,000 possibilities.
Right.
What if they roll 12 dice?
It gets complicated. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like,
they can see, and then they could do it Dungeons and Dragons. So if they're a mage, then they can have like a certain, it's going to get real complicated. They cast a spell on the umpire.
I'm going to say if we're creating a game, I'm open to a couple elements like this. I'm open to it. Let's not go crazy.
Okay, so 2 listeners. One is Christian, and we just want to say thank you for his substantial donation to Faith Over Breakfast.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that, and that will help run a little more advertising, which we've done a little bit more of. And Wes Collars, who has replied to us, who I knew a long time ago, and then we've emailed back and forth, and then I've never contacted him, and I'm so sorry. I'll talk to you at some point. I promise. I'll get a hold of you.
It's not just you with the emails with Eric. You're not alone. You're not alone.
Well.
I'm not saying. I'm not trying to. I'm just.
Some people get emails from me.
Yeah.
There's a priority list.
Yeah, and I've gotten them before.
Yeah.
And other times I have not.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. I'm trying to be a better person.
You're okay, but it's yeah.
Look, Andy DeCourt just calls me now and says, "Would you please read my email?" I'm like, I did read it.
You didn't give any indicator.
Yeah, I'll just give you an indicator that I read it. He's like, oh, well, I need an indicator. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay.
I understand what he's getting at there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're indicating to us now.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, live on the show. I like that.
On the show.
Good.
Yeah. Well, I think people don't understand, too, with text message. I don't know if this is true for you, but I was just going through you texted me back. You and I had a text conversation.
Yeah.
You texted me back. Your text was way, way down the bottom of my texts already.
Yes.
Because I just get tons of texts.
Yes. I just had this talk with some of our team members at church that there are types of things that if you text it to me, 2 things happen. Number one, I'll either feel like it's urgent, but part of that urgency is tied to the second thing. I know it will be lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, if you texted this to me and I don't answer now, I may never. I have a different relationship to email personally. I know that's not how it works for everybody. So I've told people if it's like a thing I'm going to have to think about, figure out, work-related, not immediate, I'd really prefer it in an email. Because if you text that stuff to me, I'm going to either feel like I have to change everything right now and do it, or
gotcha,
or it will just be lost.
Well, this is what I tell people. I said, don't email me. Don't text me. Call me. I'm not going to answer the phone. Leave me a message, and I will call you right back.
This has to do with our generations.
It's something about it, and I've become better at it since it now is voice to text, because it will pop up and I see a very long explanation. Like, okay, I know what you're calling me about, and I know what I need to do, and I can call you right back, and we can talk about that.
Now, here's the new version. I think a lot of people are doing this, but it's our age group is just catching on. Actually, yours probably isn't.
Don't
actually,
I'm a whatever you guys are doing.
But the audio texting, right? Do you do any of that?
My generation, does and my parents' generation does the audio texting.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean not the audio? Oh, yeah. You just send a voicemail.
Send a voice memo.
It's kind of like Marco Polo a little bit, like that. Yeah. No, I've noticed that people have started to do that. That makes me feel weird.
I don't prefer it because if I don't have headphones or something, it's
then
like
everybody's got to
do
hear
all
it.
this. Yeah.
No, I gotcha.
So
there
many.
you go. Look at this is like the inside view of everything.
So many
and I texted you and said, "Hey, let's like have a further conversation on Charlie Kirk."
It just doesn't feel like where we're going right
about
now.
That.
I do too.
And then there's this demon hunter.
Yes.
Thing, and
you should have one of our gamers at our church come talk about it. I don't know anything.
Well, yeah. So we won't talk about it. I haven't seen it yet, but I did go ahead and do a little bit of background.
Yeah, I've been told all about it.
I'm going to interview somebody later today about it.
Oh, nice.
And they've seen it, and I haven't, but I can then present all of the these are the cautions.
We now have a gaming elder, so this is a new.
Good.
Probably healthy direction for Mission Church. One of our elders is a gamer.
Yeah, he's a gamer.
And in his first sermon, he talked about K-pop Demon Hunter.
Well, there you go.
So
there you go. He's trying to be relevant.
He was relevant.
He was relevant.
He is.
I don't know. I've learned that it's almost like you blink your eyes and you're not relevant.
Yeah, right. I'm learning to accept this. I've been thinking. I was telling somebody the other day that I feel like I'm at a crossroads. A major crossroads right
like
now.
In a Jeremiah 16 way.
Even deeper than that. And it is. I had expressed it in regard to clothing, but it probably.
I don't know how you.
In other directions.
You've been clothing yourself the same since I've known you.
I know exactly. I'm at a crossroads.
Oh, okay.
And something's got to change. I think.
Can we talk about this? Not your clothing, but I want to hear what you have to say. And then I have some observations I'd like to make about this.
Great.
Good,
yes.
Good.
And I think this is tied to some other things. So the crossroads feels like, okay, I'm 43 years old. I've been dressing the same for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I do feel like I'm about to make a choice. One is that I'm going to go, I don't give a rip. I'm going to be more comfortable. And I'm going to hike up the shorts and get the bigger shirt that's just a little bit baggier, and get the Skechers and just be like, look, I got arch support. I've got a flexible waistline, and I don't care. Or I go, I'm 43 years old. I'm starting to get invited into more public spaces. I'm going to get a leather accessory or two.
Yeah, so you need a little leather accessory around your wrist. Yeah.
I have one that my wife encouraged me to get.
Okay.
And I'm gonna step it up a notch. Maybe the shirt gets tucked in from time to time.
Ooh.
And it's a little bit more of a nice shirt. Maybe maybe the belt and the accessory are coordinated. So I feel like this now. So this is symbolic.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
This is symbolic of something. Yeah. See, it's not just that.
But there's some problems. Like, so you're gonna have to get a shirt that is a little bit more tailored, but looks worse. So you need, like, for instance, the shirt you have now is too big. It doesn't fit. It fits over your shoulders, and your sleeves are too long.
Sure.
So you need it like a little bit tighter up there, and then a little shorter, because you're gonna have to show off the fact that in your older age, you've also been going to the gym, and you have obsessively worked on your
this is the
arms.
This is the other parallel thing is. So I've had pizza too many times this week. The Cubs are in the playoffs, okay? Right. And I'm really having a hard time not eating in the vein of that.
No, I understand.
So similar thing is, but I've been trying to work out some.
Okay.
Who will I be? Am I going to be the I'm older, my daughter's moved out, I work out guy? Look, I'm 40 and I lift a little. Or you know what? Forget it.
No.
I'm gonna get the beer belly. I'm gonna just be. The shirt's too big, Eric, because I'm growing out of it. Because
I'm really impressed that you have the time, because I think it takes time to work on that beer belly. that you have that kind of time.
It feels like the other one takes more time, and it's not, definitely not mostly beer. My body, I think, it would be in line with beer. Carbs. I have to be way more carbs and sugars. And this is my father's side of the family. You get the only part of us that grows is the very central belly region. Nothing happens to the shoulders. Nothing happens to the legs. It's like a top, the spinning top. It's like that shape is what could be in my future.
Right.
Yeah. And therefore,
well, see, what you got to do is you just have to be like, okay, what I want is my chest and my shoulders to keep up with my belly. So I can still have the belly, but I need the chest and the shoulders. So you just work out your chest, your shoulders, and your arms.
Well, and then you have to do the legs too, and it all grows together.
Yeah. And then
until I become a sphere.
Then you look like a lineman, right? You're more intimidating and big. But,
and I could wear like a Veruca Salt blueberry suit.
So I just say all of this. You're talking about this. I really love Tyler Staton and John Mark Comer. I like them, but I was they've faced this fork in the road, Eric, and they've made a choice. And they have made a choice, and Tyler in particular. So I was looking. He was doing they were introducing their Holy Spirit conference, right? And
you were like, here's what I'm getting on this conference. Holy cow, you look great.
So, well, he has a white T-shirt on with, and it's obviously he's working out his arms. He has hair that's like, probably cost you $100 to get that haircut. Right? And yet it looks scruffy. He's paying a lot of money to look scruffy. He has
this is David Brooks' Bobos in Paradise. This is the
around his neck. And I understand it's Portland.
Yeah.
And the higher pants, the high waters to show with like what
you got a nice sock on under
what we used to call the like hipster boots.
Oh sure. Yeah, like Blundstones or whatever.
Blundstones, yeah. I was like, what?
Well, look, I mean, here's the thing. So the prosperity, I'm not equating Tyler. They're not. But there's an element of similarity. And
it's Portland, yeah.
But I'm saying the prosperity preacher of the past was in the 3-piece suit and all this stuff. And that's how you knew that they were wealthy. Well, David Brooks, Bobos in Paradise, he's talked about how the like bourgeois culture has kind of like taken on, here would be my oversimplification, that the wealthy have taken on have almost portray themselves as poor, as nomadic, as that there's this embrace of the impoverished. So it's like I've got a work boot on and like a basic T-shirt with no logo,
right?
And the hair's kind of a mess. Like it's almost themed after the guy that lives out of the van out of necessity.
Sure.
And you can't tell the difference. This is the SNL skit, Name the Republican.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, they live out of a van and harvest their own echinacea, Republican or Democrat. And the guy's going, wait, what kind of van? Because I don't know. They're the same.
We when we would do diversity training, one of the things you start out with is showing the back of you get a Prius. You find a Prius. And then the Prius has a particular kinds of bumper stickers. And you're like, well, who's driving this Prius?
Yeah.
Like, what's the value system being like? Initially, the Prius is probably they're probably a liberal, right? They have America First on there. So what is that? Okay,
right.
And then, but they have also this hiking and camping thing on there. Okay, so you have to kind of
you've got the really nice BMW SUV, and it's like, well, wait a second, that very well could be the liberal, right? It's
so you can't tell.
Those distinctions are gone. Anyway, so what you're seeing in Tyler Staton, I mean, he's presenting for people who are those Bobos in Paradise in Bohemian bourgeois.
Yeah.
He's presenting himself in a way that to them they go like, yeah, that's a great look. That signals something.
Sure.
in a way signals spiritual health.
Yeah.
That's where it's similar to the prosperity preacher.
Sure.
Because to his audience, that signaled spiritual health.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the contrast to that, though, is you have somebody from my generation, like Erwin McManus, who's more from the, like, entrepreneur. He was a designer, lost money, made money, like, written tons of books. Yeah. Sometimes he's on stage and he just looks like a normal human being, and the next time he's wearing some of his latest clothes that he's designed, and you're like, those look weird. But it's very LA.
Sure.
And so he's very enculturated. So, like, what I would argue is that when you get up in this outfit, and in fact, I would argue that this last week when you didn't preach, you were probably the most enculturated into Tucson, because sometimes you dress up a little bit
right
when you preach. I've noticed you've been wearing sort of these nicer collared shirts and stuff. I keep track of you. I watch you every week.
Wow.
And I don't think you can say that about me.
No,
I
can't.
See, I know what you think and what you believe, and I watch you. It's important. If I'm going to be with you, I need to know what you're saying and think.
Oh man, I got to get on this.
Yeah, see. Yeah. But I think you'd probably be more authentic just to wear this up in front of everybody. If you were kind of pulling that, like, I am signaling to everyone that I'm just like them.
Well, yeah, and I've thought about that, right? And I've had conversations with our other people about it where I've said, yeah, sure, this is me if I'm being authentic. But I also know that I've heard from a couple of people in the church or who have visited, or even like my own mother, that it is to them meaningful that the hat's off and that it's not a logo tee. And I don't think that's I disagree with something I heard when I was younger. I heard when I was younger a version of it, which was like, you're serving a king, you need to dress for a king, that sort of idea. And I think that is ignoring the fact that each culture has its own definition of what that means, right?
Yeah.
But I would take it a little more to be like the way that Paul might instruct Timothy or something, to say, you're here to serve them.
Sure.
And if you can take down a barrier to serving them by removing your hat.
Yeah, and I would
remove the hat.
And I would, unless
and I think
I would argue unless that
I would say if it alienated another
who doesn't follow Jesus,
I 100% agree.
Then keep the hat on.
But in my case, I think it doesn't. Like, taking off the hat benefits serving one person, and it doesn't alienate the other. In my appraisal, in our context,
maybe. But you might have somebody walk in and they're like, "Oh, wow, the pastor wears a hat while he preaches. That's cool. Like he's I think I could be here because he's not bending to all these rules that everybody has put on him that aren't."
Yeah. But to be fair, I've thought about that too.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to be wearing jeans and the tennis shoes I wear and an untucked, like not overly styled collared shirt. So it's like, I'm thinking it through. I get you that you're thinking it through. I'm just saying. Yeah. And now the new question is, do I tuck in that shirt and wear a leather accessory? I have done the leather accessory.
Well, I think you wear the leather accessory around your wrist.
Right.
See, the thing is, like, it's not about that. It's about the Word of God, and so why do we care?
Which is funny.
I mean, you should be minimally distracting as best you can.
Yeah. Now, and I haven't been thinking about it generally in regard to preaching and the Word of God, because it does feel quite trivial when you start to go, what am I trying to do here? But it's more how do I present myself at this stage in my life? And I think that's a question I've asked before. Even honestly, this version you see of me out and about, there was a different version that I once went from a little more, I would say, like, I would have like some crazy colored shoes, and this is even like pre-knowing you too, but like,
I was remembering
a little more flashy attire that at some point I went to more of a very basic shorts, jeans, clean shoes. Things tend to match, but very relaxed, simple attire. And that was a choice to move away from kind of like almost more of an attention seeking that I realized was my motif. And I was young, and that was fine. But it was time to not do that anymore, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I always had bandanas, and I had really curly hair, and that was and then I wore a puka.
Yeah. There's a commercial on, I think, because I've been watching the baseball playoffs. Yeah. A commercial came on that said something about, do you still have that puka shell necklace and everything? And it's like, well, get this. Don't throw that away. Top searches on clothing websites have been puka shell necklaces, so on and so forth.
I don't have any of mine.
And they were basically saying, you've held on to it just long enough for it to be cool again. You could sell that.
Right.
Because a vintage puka shell necklace.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It's back, man.
Yeah, I know.
And then the identity question comes, could I authentically go back to that?
Yeah. I think when I was about your age and I'm thinking about that is when I really changed how I preached.
Yeah.
So I went from what I would say is, and not to knock this, but more your style of preaching. I went from that to a much more rhetorically driven kind of presentation style.
Yeah.
And some of that was because I felt like I had moved into a certain age.
Yeah.
And I was also seeing like that when I would move in that direction, I would have more impact and create more space for conversation.
This is coming up for me too. And you'd said something, and you were quite right. You probably said it about a year ago, maybe less. You probably said it a couple times, but you talked about the being in your 40s effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I have noticed in the past year little things where I've gone, it'll even be a specific person where I might go, this is different from you. And what it is they're going, I want to hear what you have to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll think, I remember you from so many years ago, and you weren't negative toward me, but you didn't
want to hear what I had to say in the same way.
It didn't seem as important to you.
Yeah.
And I've thought people are, and that's part of this whole how do I present myself thing is, and I think speaking style is part of it too. People are saying, I want to hear from you now.
Yeah.
And I'm just adjusting to that new reality. Because it used to feel like I was trying to get them to listen.
Right.
Felt like the general consensus was, interesting, Andy. Thanks for your help.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing this, but thank you.
Thank you for your input.
And I like
your input has been noted.
Your input has been noted. And I'm feeling a little differently of almost people saying, we want you to say more on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going, okay.
Yeah.
Is it being 40? Might be part of it.
Yeah. So we're not riffing on Charlie Kirk. Apparently not.
I think this conversation, if it went there, would be weird.
It'd be weird.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, and this is nothing to do with Charlie Kirk, but we'll go back to the board gaming things.
Okay.
Because, you run this thing called Infuse.
Yes.
And I really don't have time to do Infuse.
Yeah.
Let's just put that. My time. If I were to do Infuse, my wife would question my existence. She would say,
I question your existence.
She would say, no, you're not doing Infuse. Would be more.
Your existence would become in question. And she would say, if you do Infuse, I will end your existence.
Yeah. No. Okay. And that's really a lot of my wife would do it, but she would ask, why are you adding more meetings and things like that? But I had this thought, and I don't know if I've talked to you about it or not, but I'll put it out on air so a lot of people can hear it. I was watching, the gaming channels I do on YouTube, and Gen Con, which is this huge board gaming thing, it's week long in Indianapolis, had 75,000 people go to it.
Right.
Sit across from each other.
Yeah.
Play board games, talk, form friendships, engage. Yep. And I'm like, is anyone doing anything to reach these people, engage with these people in that particular event, but then in the larger space?
Well, I'm going to tack something on here to further conflate our board game and baseball conversation. It's interesting because there's a lot of talk about how our society's fragmenting and people don't get together and bowling alone and all that stuff.
But die.
Yeah. But the board game world is not having that problem. I don't think.
I don't fully know.
Okay. The other thing is there was baseball, as this is almost in an Eric Siepen-esque way.
Mm-hmm.
People would have said baseball is dead, but it's resurging.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
A baseball resurgence. And I think it's because of some of those embedded values within it that people, even if they haven't thought it through, they feel it.
Yeah.
There's communal singing.
Mm-hmm.
There's shoulder-to-shoulder interaction around something that also allows you to turn to one another and engage. There's common cause that in a world that feels divided, these games make you feel connected to people who are different than you. There are all of these different themes. And so in the friendship memoir, and baseball is a true connection for me and to friends. And so I'm not faking it for this sake, but it's timely in that the conversation of how do relationships work in the game of baseball seem to be on a parallel track where people are finding their way back to that game for that reason. And
so we're making these guys even bigger, making more money.
Well,
baseball players are so overpaid.
Yeah, and probably one of the gaming companies is too, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to make them make a living, but anyway.
Well, for a little indie player, and
right.
I mean, same would be true. I went to a fall league game yesterday, where the non-big guys are trying to make it. Mm-hmm. And
they're making 35. Last time I looked,
some of these guys
single A or the whatever before you bump up. To
maybe they're making about what we make, right?
Yeah. Well,
ish.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's your some things get big and succeed.
Yeah.
But the some of these things are resurging. Yeah. I would view it as gaming in various forms is surging.
Yeah.
And why do you think?
Well, I would just to go back, like it's an untapped space. Uh-huh. There's nobody ministering.
Yeah.
So I went to there's a game convention here last weekend.
Yeah.
Or 2 weekends ago. No, it was last weekend. I preached the Sunday afterwards. And I don't mean to insult board gamers because I am one of them. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of nerds and a lot of socially awkwardness.
Yeah.
Right? And some just really sweet people.
Yeah.
They're all sweet people. But I think I was like, oh, well, these people are so desperate for community and so desperate to belong and so desperate to fit in. And they have whole stories that they get lost in and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, but where's the gospel? I don't see a lot of people penetrating this to introduce the kingdom into it. So
I would say the same in sports.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of potential and a lot of connectivity. And when I went to a playoff game at Wrigley last week, and there was a street preacher out front on a bullhorn.
Yeah.
And I thought, interesting, because I was there. I'm excited, but I also went because I've engaged deeply, and I'm writing this story.
Sure.
And having moments of being there for things fuels the story. But my story does have elements that point to the kingdom.
Yeah.
And I thought, the only person I see engaging that here right now is the guy on the bullhorn.
Sure.
But I wonder if there's anybody else like me in here who's thinking more missionally.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't think it's a traditional thing for people to like say, oh, we have an organization that goes to baseball games to reach baseball fans for the gospel. But there might be.
When I was in
but I do think sports and spirituality are way more attached to each other than board games and spirituality.
They can be, yeah, for sure.
Christianity has been my experience.
Yeah.
Baseball players are and football players. They talk about their faith.
You'll see that stuff a lot,
there used to be comic books, about the Christian, like Tom Landry and Roger Staubach and the big Christian characters within sport.
I think that's true. I think athletes' faith statements, just like musicians and stuff, become people latch on to that, and they get excited when somebody's on their their team. Like speaking of Charlie Kirk, one of the Cubs went to his service, and people either loved or hated that.
Right.
One of the Dodgers wrote his name on his hat, and same thing. People either were like, "Oh, how wonderful," or, "Well, that's it. I don't like him anymore."
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it becomes an identifier but people get very excited when a sports star is on their
it's a more
team, and that's not so true in the gaming.
Well, because they're two different subcultures. Subcultures like that.
The gaming world doesn't have the star.
Yeah, no public figures. Like no that crossover. Like I know baseball players.
Yes,
and I never watch baseball.
Correct. Name one.
Yeah, you don't know.
Current Chicago Cubs.
I don't know any. Actually, it's a good point. I don't know any current ones.
Yeah.
I know ones from the Randy Johnson.
Christian or non-Christian?
Randy Johnson.
Oral Hershiser.
I would
Christian
say
or
no, he's not a Christian.
False. You missed it.
Is he a Christian?
Dave Dravecki.
I don't know.
Christian.
Okay.
Okay. So my friend Sam, who I'm doing the book
Who's
about.
the guy who lives in Tucson who has the two Cy Young Awards?
Oh, are we talking about we're talking about Rick Waits.
No.
It's two Cy Young Awards. Terry Francona lives here.
Played for the Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
I think. Man.
Shoot. I don't know.
I will remember his name in a minute. Darn, I used to house sit for him.
Introduce me, please.
He's older now, but yeah.
That's okay.
30 years older. Wow.
Yeah. If he's with us, introduce me.
I wish I could remember his name. I'll remember it in a minute.
Okay. But my friend Sam, I was going through his baseball cards his dad gave me.
How do we turn this into baseball? I started talking about board gaming.
I love it.
And you just take it over and start talking about baseball.
No, I'm coming back.
Okay, come back to me. Please.
On some of his cards, and this is, I think, was true maybe in a certain way from our era, a little less now. It's just different. But he actually drew Jesus, ichthus, Jesus fish on the cards of the Christians that he knew when he was like in grade school.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he definitely would not have done that later in life because he ended up a devoted Christian, but he went through a phase where he was like, that's cheesy. But it was a big thing to say that big name is on my team. He's part of my team.
Yeah. No. Totally.
So the board game world doesn't have that.
Yeah, I mean, there are people where you're like, oh, are they a Christian?
You wonder.
Like, Tom Vassell, he talks about his church and he's an elder. Okay, he's a Christian. Is he a Mormon or is he a Christian?
Oh, yeah.
So you're trying to figure, because he's not talking about his faith necessarily, but there are clues.
Do any of the game creators have themes that make you go, ooh?
Well, unfortunately, whatever Christian gaming is out there is so overtly Christian that nobody wants to play it.
That I could imagine that.
But there isn't really. Yes, there are maybe some designers out there doing that, but mostly I think Christian designers are trying to build games that are, high quality games. And
the same is true in the athlete world, by the way, because
they were
on the Cubs. There's that guy that went to the service.
Did you just let this move into the athlete world?
No, I'm trying to find parallels. I'm trying to relate to you.
Yeah, I see.
But I was just thinking, there was the guy that went to the memorial service of Charlie Kirk, and then another player who's I know is a believer, and one of his big things he's done is he's talked about his depression and anxiety,
right?
And how he leans on God. That's about it. He just plays hard.
Yeah.
And so there's two different ways, I guess, potentially.
Right. I think the difference between board gaming and, say, the sport is that you're being a spectator too. There's not a lot of spectating in board gaming. You are participating in a story.
So is that growing? Because I think about all the people that go to the conventions, but they're not spectating as much the two people playing the game. They're there to see and be with.
They sign up for games and play games.
They play the game.
Yeah, we all come to. I played like 6 games.
I do like that. It's nice.
So that you just get to know. So you get to sit across from people you don't know, get to know them, make connections, hear a little bit of their story, play the game.
Embed in the story of the game.
Yeah, how did they end up, and I think that's a big deal.
So what would it be like to be a missional presence?
Well, I think what I'm thinking through is being able to bring prototypes you can sign up with your prototype. That's another thing is designers come with their prototypes, and you get to play a game that's not going to be on the market for 2 years and still being developed. So you get to participate in the development of the game. So it's feedback so on communal, and so being able to bring that. And since it's local, these conventions are all, most of them are local. You can engage with local people who are like, oh, I like your game. Like, would you play? Oh, you're at this church. Oh, okay. Like, oh, your church has game nights. I could come be part of that. You have a little bit of that ability. Or, hey, like, we could get together and play. Oh, you live next to me. Like, we live close together. So that's more kind of what I'm thinking is you bring something that invites people into.
So you're looking at doing more game nights, and it sounds like game development here.
Yes.
And then when you were mentioning Infuse, I guess you were saying what you would do if you were to do something like that would be
like if it were just like, say I was I was co-vocational, not bi, but
get the terms
right. But anyway, if I'm working another job to make a living, but I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I wanted to figure out what that looked like, and how to like maybe launch a game, then I would probably join Infuse and try to figure out that whole process of what it meant to be a missionary and launch one of these things.
Yeah.
But I don't really have the space to do that.
I get it. Just promote Mark, promote Daniel, make it happen, man.
I'm gonna we'll just launch it out of here.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I've been investigating. Well, what does it take to sort of be an entrepreneurial church where you're allowed to use your umbrella, your 501c3 umbrella, to its greatest advantage?
Oh yeah.
So not starting businesses alongside or as subsidiaries, but literally everything being under that umbrella, with separate boards and stuff. So I've done a ton of research, and I mean, people are doing it all over the place. But a board gaming company is one of the things I've been thinking through.
Oh,
starting with nestled inside the church with its own board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With its own board.
Yeah.
Board
game with its own board. Yeah.
What if you conducted the board like the game?
Ooh, maybe I should just do that. I bet my leadership meetings would be a lot more fun. We're like, hey, this is all right. So
you're like, sorry, you got sent back to sent back to go.
No, I'm not trading my wheat to you.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. You still have to volunteer next week.
Or if you volunteer, I'll give you some ore.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You volunteer. Yeah. If you increase your time by 10%, I'll give you 2 ore.
Oh.
So a 10% increase and 3 volunteer slots. Dude, I'll give you 2 ore.
I like where we're going with this.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
No, but it did excite me because I think it's a place. Board gaming is on the increase, and I think going to sports games like baseball games, in particular baseball games, is increasing. But I also think what the data says about group games and group is that, like, for instance, people are increasing in playing, say, pickleball, but they aren't joining pickleball groups. Or they're increasing in bowling. Like, there are more bowlers per capita than there used to be, but there are less bowling groups. That's where the bowling alone idea comes from. It's not that people stop bowling.
They don't bowl. They just,
now they're doing it by themselves. And so that I think is sort of the thing is we're not joining groups.
Right.
We're doing a lot by ourselves, or we're not affiliating with the group of people we're doing something with.
Or those affiliations are very fragile.
Yes, very fragile.
They're broken quite quickly and easily.
Yeah.
So I think, even though I think people they have read Robert Putnam, they are thinking about that to some degree, or they're hearing about that stuff.
Yeah.
But there are still other values and other practices. Like the era that Putnam's talking about, people also didn't move very much. So when you joined that bowling league in your town, you got to know these people for decades.
Yes.
And so you can't simply join a bowling group for 6 months.
Right.
And have that same level of experience.
Yes.
So, and then there's all sorts of layers to why that is the case. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's interesting. Okay. I just think you should just join Infuse. I think you should get over it. I think if you're thinking about all this stuff, you might as well do it with a community. It's the whole...
I have my own community.
Yeah. But, you know, and you're entrepreneurial one to figure all this out. Because then now you're hoarding ore. You got to share the ore...
Do I?
Of what you're learning with others. See, that's the whole point of Infuse. Is it's a community. It's not just what you get, Eric. It's what others glean from you.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do it sometime.
That'd be fun.
One of my many.
This is one of my dreams, is to see Eric do a thing that I created.
Yeah, you haven't done anything I've created.
Well, that could be your dream.
Okay. Just checking. We could dream together.
Yeah. And we could co-create a thing.
Yeah, that's probably more likely.
More likely.
Oh, look, I
think we're doing it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, this may be like the beginning of many co-creations.
Why not?
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, This was a fun conversation.
You know what? Here's the deal.
We should do more conversations like this.
I love it. And if this podcast isn't marketable, I don't care.
Yeah,
I liked it.
That was beautiful.
Eric, this was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll see you next time.
Yeah.
And hey, for those of you who sat in on a really true Faith Over Breakfast over here at this empty chair.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, this was fun.
And we were listening to you subtly. Yeah, somehow. All right. See you next time.
Yep. You've been listening to Faith Over Breakfast with Pastor Eric Siepen and Pastor Andy Littleton. Please share us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you.